What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Chance Bishop Show for episode 90 of our MLB The Show 24 Pittsburgh Pirates franchise mode here on the channel. The Pirates, coming into the 2041 season, are coming off of a season in which they finished exactly 20 games below 500. Yeah, what a failed dynasty this team has become. We went from winning back-to-back to 20 games under 500 only a couple of seasons. But we have a veteran core. We have a very weird mix of players, and I understand kind of why this team is the way it is. We have a very old veteran core, right? We have our Connor Griffins, Tamar Johnson, Henry Davis, Eduardo Tate, Skenes. We got Jared Jones, Adam Miller, Dylan Cruz. We have the old guys on this team still, right? And they are still fundamental pieces of this organization. I'm not gonna be like the AI where it's like, okay, Dylan Cruz is a 64 overall, let's just demote him because that's what the AI wants to do. Nope, I'm not gonna do that because it doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't make sense for me personally because that's not what teams would actually do. They're not gonna send down a player making $35 million to AAA because they have a low overall. Now, I'll put them on the bench. That's one thing. But Connor Griffin here is 56 overall. Guess what? He's making a lot of money, so he is unfortunately gonna play. Same thing with Adam Miller, Tamar Johnson, Dylan Cruz. These guys are all signed for long-term extensions, so they're gonna play. That's just kind of how it's gonna be. Do they have to necessarily start? Probably not. You could probably put them on the bench, but I'd rather just them get the stats. Get the counting stats at least. Connor Griffin joining the 2,000 hit club. You love to see that. 2,046 hits in his career at the age of 35. Probably not good enough for that 265 average to make the Hall of Fame. Less than 200 home runs. A little unfortunate there. Kind of wish we had more of his prime where he was more consistent. But he just kind of seemed like he had to have a really good season his first year. Second, then next year would have a really bad season. He just kind of ping-pong back and forth on if he was going to have a good season or a bad season, which I think definitely hurt his counting stats. Paul Skenes has over 100 strikeouts this year. It's kind of what we're really looking for. Jared Jones kind of struggling out there. Patrick Jones, Jim Fakua. So, Garrett Norton. You got Sean Cooper, 77 overall. Oh, he is struggling hard this season, his age 37 season. Cooper, 19 saves, 6 blown saves. Jeez Louise. His ERA is almost double. His ERA is, almost double what it was last year. He's blown more saves in 20 less games. I guarantee you we don't have any All-Stars. Oh, actually, Luke Taney. Sorry, I lied. Luke Taney, 9-4 down there with a 3.41 ERA. He made it to the All-Star game. Good for him. Surprisingly, Cooper not in the All-Star game here as the closer. Rex Jordan, what a great name, Rex Jordan. Jeff Rodriguez. Okay, Phillies have the entire left side of the infield, right side of the infield is yours. They got the left fielder. Love to see that. I'm a Phillies fan. Plain simple. I'm gonna shout out the Phillies when the Pirates aren't doing too good. You know what I mean? It's like you get that mutual, the Keystone State kind of rivalry. You get that Keystone State respect. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, you're not our team, but you're in our state, so. Hats off to you, brother. We respect you for being the best you possible. Isaiah Rich, former guy there for us. Paul Skenes joins the 4,000 strikeout club, 4,056 in his career. You'll love to see that there for Paul Skenes. Absolutely love to see that there. What a great milestone that I'm assuming very few pitchers have ever genuinely reached. When I think about it, even off the top of my head, what pitchers could have possibly reached the 4,000 strikeout club? I could think of, Nolan Ryan. I can think of probably Roger Clemens. And maybe Steve Carlton? Randy Johnson? I think that's it. I think it's literally Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, Clemens, and Steve Carlton are the only pitchers that have 4,000 strikeouts. I know Seaver came close. He was 3,600. I think Bert Blyleven had a very sneaky career when it came to how many strikeouts he he had, but Bert Blyleven also played like 2 decades. And I mean, so did Clemens, who played almost, I think, 25 years. And I think Carlton played 25 years, about 5 or 6 too many, honestly, because I think he just had other issues. But he just kept playing forever. And, you know, all those guys, though, being Hall of Famers, no, you'll love to see that right there. That, you know, Paul Skenes joining very rare company, being only the 5th pitcher in Major League history to strike out 4,000 batters. And he's not done yet. Will he get 5,000? He's 38. No, he's not going to get 5,000 strikeouts. Plain and simple, he's not getting 5,000. He's not getting 5,715. It's just not going to happen. He's not going to surpass Nolan Ryan. Sorry. Sorry, guys. It's not going to be like that. But I think we could definitely get like 4,500. I think we definitely make our run if he plays a couple more seasons. Maybe he passes Carlton. Definitely should pass Carlton. Carlton only has like 4,100 strikeouts. It's most all time, or second most all time by a lefty. You know, he has like 500. He could probably pass maybe Roger Clemens with 4,600. I think Randy Johnson at 48 is definitely going to be a stretch. But it just kind of depends on how much longer Skenes really wants to play. You know, if he just sticks around forever, he might get 5,000. He really might, but I don't think he's going to. I think he might have another 2-3 seasons in him, retire at like 41, 42. I guess 42 is technically 4 seasons in him, but I don't think he can maintain the strikeout ability that he has, you know, where he's getting, you know, 200 strikeouts every season. 100, you know, I guess he's down to maybe like 150, 180 strikeouts now in his age 38 season. He's definitely not the Paul Skenes that, you know, from the first couple of years, you know, when he got called up in year 1, and the Paul Skenes of years 2, 3, and 4 of this series, where he's, you know, coming out here and he's striking out 15, 18, 19, 20 in, you know, in single games of the postseason. In, you know, regular season games, he's going, you know, 8 strong, striking out 20, and then he, you know, lets up a home run because the game just plays like that, where it's like, yep, home run. Okay, the game's insta home run that it gives the computer, I guess, every game. They, you know, down and away, somehow just cracks it for a home run, you know, pulls it over the right field wall. Don't know how that happens, but I feel that's a lot of the reason why Skenes ended up with the ERAs he did, is because when I pitched with them, stuff like that happened. Dylan Cruz, Reese Hines, Heston Kjerstad all retire. Connor Norby retires. Okay, Connor Norby. Let's see, Curtis Mead. It's part of the Christopher Sanchez trade. Sent Christopher Sanchez to Philly. Curtis Mead went to Tampa. Travis, the Banana Man Bazana retires. Alright, good to see him. I wonder how his career went. Chase Burns retires. He was with us for like 3 seasons, and we traded him because we realized we couldn't afford him, and we couldn't re-sign our minor leaguers, so we had to trade him. Carlos De La Cruz retires. Could have sworn we'd seen him retire before. Yon Duran retires right there with the Twins. I guess technically he's a free agent, but he was with the Twins for a long time. Closers don't get the respect, honestly, in this game. They don't make the Hall of Fame. Cody Hewer retires. Anthony Hupitu Nutoa retires. We had him for a couple seasons. Alex Lang retires with us for a couple years. Nick Kurtz, Wyatt Langford, Jung-Hoo Lee. Surprised Jung-Hoo Lee is actually still in the league here in 2041. I feel like he was a little older when he came over to play with the Giants, but hey man, maybe he just loves baseball. Maybe he's just like Ichiro, where he just would never retire because he just absolutely loved baseball. Nick Prado, a different Jose Ramirez. I thought that was going to be like third baseman Jose Ramirez. No. Drew Romo. We have Fernando Tatis. Okay, that's a surprising one right there. He debuted in, 2017, 2018? Cole Winn retires. So that's a surprising one. Cruz and Tatis, 2019. I was like 2 years off. Dylan Cruz retires there with the Pirates. 2,600 hits, 418 home runs, a 276 career average. Tatis, 2,500 hits. He had 433 career home runs, 1,400 career RBIs. Luke Teeney's going to leave the Pirates. He's going to head to the Guardians. on a 4-year, $43.2 million deal. Just a cap casualty right there with some of these big contracts, the Tamars, the Millers, the Eldridges, the Griffins. Thankfully, we do kind of save some money now that, Dylan Cruz has retired, and made the Hall of Fame as a Pirate, might I add it to you, which is great. Take a look here at our rotation. Skenes down to 77 overall. Jared Jones down to 59. Ooh, woof. That's rough right there. But thanks to you, though. Peace out. Rock on. Stay super close.